there, warm welcome. You're watching Decoding Now and I'm Meghna Dekar. Well, viewers, if you don't work, will you get paid? If your productivity at work is only 19%, will you actually get your full salary? And what about a salary as high as perhaps, well, let this sink in, close to 1 crore rupees? Would anyone pay you that? Well, absolutely not. All of us have to attend office. We have to perform and only then do we get paid. So why are the rules different for our parliamentarians? Well, 19 days of the monsoon session was a near washout. 259 crore rupees of the taxpayers' money was wasted. 173 hours of time for discussion was wasted. And yet, MPs get approximately 1 crore rupees in pay and perks. Why? Why are we paying them? We decode the biggest stunts, separate spectacle from substance, and ask whether the country's highest democratic institution is losing the trust of the people that it represents. Tonight, we will decode the numbers and ask, is it time for no work, no pay, just like us, for our MPs as well? That's the question. In fact, look at this circus. Well, hold on. Let me correct myself. This is supposed to be the parliament, and that is supposed to be a protest. You have Congress MPs displaying stuffed monkeys. This is their way of taking a jibe at the Prime Minister and Union Home Minister Amit Shah. It is also their way at demanding answers over the alleged theft of Ram Mandir donations and the police crackdown on student protesters. Debate and deliberation, as on most days, did not feature on the news channels, even on the last day of the monsoon session. In fact, stuffed monkeys did it. This is what was happening. Instead of debating, the parliamentarians from the Congress party stood outside holding up monkeys. There is a common saying, not my monkey, not my circus. Unfortunately, people like you and me must realize it is ours because we pay for the parliament. And that is the most important thing for you to realize. When all of this is happening, who's paying for the parliamentarians? Well, it is people like you and me, the taxpayers' money. Listen in to what was happening, not inside the parliament, but outside it. And it's not just that. What do you understand by the concept of a protest? Well, the opposition seeks to question the ruling party, right? But bizarre scenes unfolded in the parliament where even the ruling party decided to protest. The ruling party started protesting against the opposition. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju is supposed to ensure that Parliament functions smoothly. It's literally his job to ensure the flow strategy of the Parliament. Yet his own fellow members are right there outside the Parliament building, protesting and not being part of the proceedings. Well, that is the irony of this Parliament session. Well, it soon snowballed into a confrontation. On one hand, you had the opposition MPs. On the other hand, you had this NDA MPs. All of them came face to face to such an extent that you can see the poor CISF personnel had to step in. They literally built this human chain, trying to keep the opposition away from the NDA because both the sides of the ideological divide were all outside and protesting. CISF personnel, you can see them in the black uniforms there, all of them wearing the same uniform, forced to step in, stopping from the two sides, coming to fisticuffs. That is the reality of the parliament. It's not a debate, it's not discussion, it's not a heated debate. It is actually a heated argument, that too outside. Well, now look at the next set of visuals. This is not a college campus and this is not a Nukkad Natak. This is supposed to be a protest, and that too inside the parliament. The MP that you see is that man who's dressed as a priest wearing Bhagwa clothes. He is actually an MP, independent parliamentarian from Bihar, Pappu Yadav. Watch as Rahul Gandhi makes a donation as well. This is about the Chanda Chori. This is the Chanda Chori skit which was staged by the independent MP with active roles being played by even the leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha. Other MPs also followed suit. It shows that Pappu Yadav is sitting there dressed as a priest, that people are coming and giving chanda in the Ram Mandir. That is the skit about. The government wasn't questioned about how much money was allegedly taken away from the Ram Mandir donations. There was no question about who should be held accountable or what action should have been taken. Instead, what we had was a skit, a performative art which was put out where you had even the leader of opposition coming and giving money. Then Pappu Yadav can be seen taking the money, putting it in his pocket, saying that this is what's happening. This is the Chanda Chori in Ram Mandir. So you decide what is the way of highlighting a serious issue. It is a serious issue. It is an issue of bhakti. It is an issue of astha. It is an issue of money. What happened? It wasn't discussed inside the parliament. There was a skit which was enacted outside the parliament. And then there is this march which happened. From where? You must have heard about the Dandi March undertaken by Mahatma Gandhi. Right under his statue, there is a march which started all the way from a Mahatma Gandhi statue to the Makar Dwar of the parliament by the opposition MPs. Yes, this is one of the shortest possible marches. But anyways, that's what they were doing. Back in his time, Mahatma Gandhi had led the Dandi March. Now you have Rahul Gandhi, his fellow freedom fighters, all of them walking a whole of 390 kilometers. In those days, Mahatma Gandhi had walked for 24 days. Then we have this, the country's opposition marching 100 meters to perhaps, well, make it 150 if you want, to register their protest against the BJP. From 390 kilometers to 100 meters. Look at the paradox of the two different marches, Dandi March and this march. But anyways, you also have then Congress MP Renuka Chaudhary. She and her own way of registering her protest. You can see that on your screens. Look at the glasses that she is wearing. It says Modia Bin. Of course, it's a spin-off of the word Motia Bin, which means cataract, which blinds you towards what's happening outside. She's used that spin from Motia Bind. She made it Modia Bind. In fact, she then suggested that the Prime Minister's so-called Andhbhaks have cataract in their eyes, which is blinding them from reality. Hence, it is Modia Bind. Again, a lot of questions, but very little debate because all of this happened outside. Hollow theatrics is what the BJP called it. Listen in.
जो अंधभक्त होते हैं उनके लिए हम उचित चिकित्सा करवाने तैयार हैं। तो मैंने सोचा चश्मा का सहारा उनको कुछ समझ में आएगा। वैसे तो चोरी नजर नहीं आ रही, ब्रिज फेल हो रहा नजर नहीं आ रही, नीट एग्जाम नजर नहीं आ रही, तारीफे करते हैं। तो मैंने सोचा कि उचित चिकित्सा हम करवाएं। मोतियाबिंद का होता है, मोदियाबिंद का भी हम करवा दें।
But at the end of it, it all comes down to the money. Because remember, you and I are paying for all of this. Let's do some of the number calculations, the big calculations, and put up concrete numbers in front of you, because it's not just about rhetoric. We don't want to turn this into a stunt either. We are going to only deal with facts on decoding now, which is why we are going to show you the quantum of loss during the monsoon session of the parliament. Is your money going down the drain? Well, you decide. This is the data that we are showing you from PRS. PRS has meticulously counted the amount of hours which has been wasted, the money which has been wasted, as well as the productivity. As per PRS, in the Lok Sabha, this is the breakup for Lok Sabha, the amount of hours which have been wasted is 96.5 hours, when they could have discussed issues that people like you and me face every day. All those hours, close to 100 hours, wasted. What was the cost for every hour? Every hour, people like you and me, the taxpayers, pay 1.5 crore rupees for the parliament to function. So you calculate the amount of money wasted, so which is 1.5 crores into the 96.5 hours, which comes to a whopping 144.75 crore rupees wasted in the Lok Sabha alone. We'll do the math for Rajya Sabha, the same kind of a math. In Rajya Sabha, the amount of hours wasted when the Rajya Sabha, the upper house, did not debate was 76.6 hours. What was the cost per hour? Again, is the same, which is 1.5 crores per hour. The amount of money wasted, which is essentially 105 crores into 76 hours, which has been wasted, which comes to a whopping 114.9, close to 115 crore rupees has been wasted in the Rajya Sabha alone. Where's this money coming from? Well, you and I, the taxpayers, pay for it. Now, this is a report card for how productive the Lok Sabha was during this session, and the numbers are downright abysmal. We are again quoting the numbers from PRS. What does PRS say? That the number of scheduled hours, and now this is again Lok Sabha that we are discussing, the number of scheduled hours was 114. The number of business hours was only, what is business hours? What was actually conducted business? When they worked was 17.5 hours. How many hours wasted? 96.5 hours wasted. What is the productivity? 15.35%. Yes, Kiran Rijiju, the Parliamentary Affairs Minister, has said that it is actually 19%. We are adding the couple of hours after sine die. If they had functioned the whole day today, which they did, but the sine die of the Lok Sabha, for example, happened at 11 a.m. instead of the rest of the day, we are counting that in as well, and so is PRS. Based on that, PRS says productivity is only 15.35%. What about the upper house? Let's get you the math in the upper house. Rajya Sabha is not much different. Let's take you through the productivity report. Again, this one is based on PRS data. As per PRS, the scheduled number of hours was 114. And how much did the parliamentarians in Rajya Sabha work? Well, it was only 37 hours. So the number of hours which has been wasted is 76 hours. The productivity of the Rajya Sabha slightly better than the Lok Sabha, if you want to call it better. It is almost double actually. It's 32%. Now imagine people like you and me, 32% attendance, 32% productivity. Would that be acceptable to our bosses? In this case, who are the bosses of the parliamentarians? Well, it is the people of India. Direct accountability is with the people of India. And now the most staggering numbers that we are going to get for you. If you are absent from your office, does your HR deduct your salary? Well, definitely. If you're not doing your job, can you be terminated? Yes, you can. But repeated misconduct, will that result in that? Yes, it will. But what if I tell you that you could choose to skip work or simply not do your job and still receive full salary? And that's exactly the case with our VVIP parliamentarians as well. What is the salary they are getting? Let's get you a rough. Now, I can't give you an exact cut down because a lot of this is coming in the form of perks as well. So I'm going to try and simplify and give you an approximate figure. The salary per month, which is as per what is allowed, is about 2.54 to 2.86 lakh rupees. But even once, if you are a parliamentarian, for the rest of your life, you are going to be eligible for pension, a pension of 31,000 per month. You also get a house. Your housing can go up to 24 lakh rupees per year. You also get free internet up to 1.5 lakh rupees per year. You also get electricity free up to 50,000 units per year. You also get free flights, 34 flights per year. If you decide to go by train, then AC1, you'll get your own AC1 coupe, and here the amount of travel, unlimited. As many times as you want, as long as you're an MP, no one's going to be charging you. All of that, of course, comes from the taxpayers' money. So what's the total package? If you add all of this up, it comes roughly to about 1 crore rupees per year, but perhaps a whole lot more. There are perks, the Lal Battis, the VVIP charges, we're not even adding. We're not even adding security to all of this. This is just to give you an idea. It is a minimum of 1 crore rupees. All of this money we pay. What have they done? Have they worked enough? Before we go on to our guests, listen in to what BJP's MP Giriraj Singh has said. In fact, we are going to summarize what Giriraj Singh has said. He says that if there is no work, let there be no pay for the parliamentarians. And that's exactly where we are taking off as we go into our debate. If there is no work by our parliaments, should they get paid? Let me go across to our panelists. Joining us today on the show, we have Mr. R. Rajagopalan, a senior journalist. Rashid Kidwa is also joining us, another senior journalist. I'm going to start with you first, Mr. R. Rajagopalan. Why should the taxpayers foot a bill for a costly monsoon session which has been washed away. If there's no work, why should they get paid?
Absolutely correct. You are on dot. And moreover, the lawmakers or the lawbreakers, what an amount of drama they did in front of the Magaradwar. And today, Mr. Pawan Khera is very, very below the belt type of things. Second, no parliamentarian should be paid full amount. No, the pension should be stopped, Meghna, because the pension bill for the budget for others also for a parliamentarian is much more than the salaries of the present members of parliament. Second thing, they get TA, DA allowances, etc. Whenever they go for public hearings or standing committee meetings, they are lodged in 7-star hotel or 5-star hotels for at least 6 or 7 foreign trips during a year. Can you believe that? And now, high time, my simple point is Mr. Rahul Gandhi is to be blamed for this. Squarely, I tell you, having covered.
But Mr. Rajagopalan, is Rahul Gandhi the Parliamentary Affairs Minister whose job is flow management?
It is both the chief whip for the Congress party and the ruling party's Parliamentary Affairs Minister. They liaise with each other.
So why should the blame lie on Rahul Gandhi if he is not the Parliamentary Affairs Minister?
Rahul Gandhi is not the picture here because he is instigating everyone,
No, whose job is it? Whose job is it? Mr. Rajagopalan, because you're a very senior journalist, you know how things work inside a parliament. Whose job is it as per the rule book to ensure flow strategy, to ensure that the parliament works?
Parliamentary Affairs Minister in liaison with the chief whip for the opposition.
So it is Kiran Rijiju's fault as well?
Kiran Rijiju as well as the chief whip of the Congress.
Okay, so it's a split fault, you would say, between Rahul Gandhi and Kiran Rijiju.
No, we don't get into that, Meghna. My point is...
I want to get into that. We are paying for this. Why shouldn't we get into whose fault it is?
Okay. It's the Parliamentary Affairs Minister's job who will liaise with the opposition. Second, most important is chief whip of the opposition is important for the government because opposition leader is equal to the cabinet minister of the government. Therefore, they go to the minister, under the opposition leader, it is chief whip. My point, Meghna, it is delimitation and the FCRA bill which threatened the opposition. That is why they stalled it. Simple as that. No road cherry, no need. They're all cover up, Meghna. Politically speaking, the one.
So you're saying that was the intention to stall certain crucial bills. But let me go across to Rashid Kidwai. I must bring in Rashid Kidwai as well. I'll just come back to you, Mr. Rajagopalan. Do you agree? Rahul Gandhi must also bear the brunt of a washed out session as it was. At the end of it, 259 crore rupees of our money being wasted. Who pays for it? Rashid Alvi.
So, Meghna, with lot of respect and regard and personal regard for Mr. Rajagopalan and of course you, I disagree with the most of the formulations that you have presented. Politics, parliament is not a profession in a strict sense of other this thing. You are representing will of the people and you have a disagreement. And disruption is very much part and parcel of parliamentary, style of functioning. Whether we look at any European parliament, whether Italian parliament, British parliament, or many other parliaments, and you look at the track record of before 2014. I'm glad that Mr. Rajagopalan is here. He has seen the winter of 2013, 2010, and many of the things. Again, the productivity, so-called productivity rate was, 15%, 13%, 20%, 19%. All these things were there. This money is not going to go in, so to say, to feed the poor or so. So when the BJP was in opposition, they did all this disruption and justifying Mr. Late Arun Jaitley and Sushma ji both are on record to say that this is a very, what they called it as a very useful and legitimate tool to disrupt, parliament. I am not supporting what the kind of slogans they are raised and all. That's not our domain. But you see, this, how do you do it? Now, if there is a, chanda chori, or there is a, youth unrest, how do you articulate it? So
by debating inside the house, Rashid Alvi, many would say, why not choose that way forward?
So that is for that it takes two to tango. There I agree, Mr. Rajagopalan, because there is a trust deficit. You tell me,
Meghna. Two to tango, that is what Mr. Rajagopalan is saying. That is what Rashid Kidwai. So one blames the other. There are two parties. One blames this, one blames that. Rashid Kidwai, I really liked what you said.
Just one line.
That the parliamentarians are there to answer the will of the people. And I'm going to take off from what you said, and that is a very important point that you make. The parliamentarians are there representing the will of the people. Rashid Kidwai, do you think what we see on our screens, this is the will of the people? The number of washed out hours, 173 hours wasted, 19% productivity of the Lok Sabha, over 1 crore rupee salary that we are paying, that 259 crore rupees has been wasted. Do you think this is the will of the people?
May not be, but this has been a feature of our Indian parliamentary democracy, and it's been there. Who will account for, disruptions? I have accounted over, 500 hours have been disrupted. So what do you do to that? You cannot have it with a benchmark of present. What I'm saying is this is what the political parties are doing when they're in power or when they're in opposition.
Okay.
We don't speak, Meghna, in your program for political position, but what prevented the Home Minister from coming forward and making a statement? So therefore, you can argue both sides.
Rashid Kidwai, the BJP, I'm sure if I go to Mr. Rajagopalan, he is going to say, what stopped the Congress from saying, yes, let the Home Minister speak today when he offered yesterday?
That is true. And that is why I'm saying that the both are, if you're fixing, responsibility. But what I'm saying is these are very sensitive issues. And, you can't find a redressal of that youth unrest or, whatever the issues are there, chanda chori, etc. These are all allegations. And this is what the same thing happened in, whether it was Bofors or 2G or Railgate, and number of scams during PV Narasimha Rao's time. All these things, we have seen it all.
It's very distressing when we have from both sides blaming each other at the end of it. Mr. Rajagopalan, I am going to come back to you. No one wants to talk about productivity. Why should we not hold the parliamentarians responsible for the job that we have sent them to the parliament for? Who are the bosses of the parliamentarians, if not the people of India?
It is people of India. People of India wants debate. If you want to understand, from 1978, I am covering parliament, Meghna, not 1 or 2 days. My point is, Dr. Subramania Swamy Ram Jethmalani, Madhu Limai Vasant Sate, Madhu Dantavate, Somnath Chatterjee, Gurudas Das Gupta, Kalyan Mukherjee, Geeta Mukherjee, and Philu Modi. I have witnessed Swaran Singh and Menu Masani debating for hours together. Vajpayee with Chandrasekhar.
We've also seen Sushma Swaraj and Arun Jaitley disrupting also. Saying that's a parliamentarian.
And I'm seeing Rahul Gandhi also doing buffoonism in parliament, rowdyism in parliament, hooliganism in parliament. This is the day which I say it is a drama happening outside the parliament. You cannot bring a monkey, compare it to the prime minister. Can they do it? What is the responsibility? The same Pawan Khera said, Pakistan khuda denge.
Well, at the end of it, it's not a political debate. This space of decoding now is not for politics. It's about accountability. And unfortunately, again, we have none. You have Mr. R. Rajagopalan as well as Rashid Kidwai who are explaining to us that yes, the blame must go to both sides. And I'm not even talking about Congress or the BJP, the left or the right. It doesn't matter to people like us. The taxpayers' money is being wasted, and it is wasted by people cutting across political lines. And that's the point that I'm making. Who's going to pay for this? Is this what we are paying them to go and do? Is this what the will of the people is? We leave you with that question. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us here on the show. We wrap up Decoding Now. I'll see you again tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. right here on Timestamp.